All right, man. So I took a look at the footage and, well, I think there's a couple of issues I'm seeing here. So let's talk about them. By the way, I think you were talking about two sets of runs on Accelerator. I only got this one in this edit. I'm guessing there was a problem with the other footage. All right. So take a look at your run. I think this is the second run. Draw the gun. Okay, aggressive shooting up close, controlled shooting on the longer stuff. Everything looked fairly tidy on this end, and all of your runs look the same way, basically, except the variation in how fast you were shooting. Things are pretty interesting looking at the scoring here. So, yeah, we see there's a D and a couple C's. The interesting thing is the position. So you bear in mind, high and off to the right. This middle target here, we've got a lot of stuff off to the right and a little bit of stuff low and left. And here on the target you're drawing on, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. I think we're missing a couple holes here.
I'll go ahead, set up the camera at the new spot.
Okay. So that's what we're seeing. So what I think is going on here is in terms of the hits, especially on these two targets, on the closer two, I think you're shooting reacting to the color or the shape of the target, as opposed to looking to a specific point at the center of the target and waiting until the gun goes to where you're looking. I just don't think that part's really happening. It looks to me like you're shooting again as you're bringing the gun into the target. Now the target in the middle, and this is difficult to parse out on video, especially with the type of resolution things get to after it goes through a few different processes. It's difficult to parse it out on video, but these hits on the center target, these make it very, very likely that you're kind of sweeping through this target in the middle as well and not really stopping the gun. So what I'd want to see is you look to a spot exactly in the center, you wait till your dot's kind of flashing around the spot. We call it like painting the target. You paint the center of the target with your dot and you're engaging it. Okay, cool. And then when you're done, you look to the next target and only then the gun moves away. What's quite likely happening is you're looking at the target, you're looking at brown, and then as the dot sweeps through here, you're going like pop, pop, and shooting a couple, and it just ends up hitting along this channel, right? As the dot's moving down through the target. That's what it looks like to me. So what's gonna clean this up is precision with your vision. So you're looking at an exact spot, like a spot that big. You look there, and you accept that your red dot's going to be, dancing around like this, but you just call it good enough, and then that way you'll be shooting aggressively, and that'll work out well. So, in terms of the points, definitely, precision with your vision is a big thing. But the more interesting thing about the video, I thought, was the pacing was strange. So 7.5 seconds to start. I'm assuming that's a relatively cold run. And then within, by the third run, you were under 6 seconds. So I would say 7.5 is fine. For a B-class guy shoots 7.5 seconds. I say, okay, cool. When you start getting under 6 seconds, that's where the faster guys kind of hang out. Like M-class, like GM guys. I mean, using iron sights, I would say GM guys under 6 seconds all the time. Like that'd be kind of what we're looking for. So you kind of occupied a lot of territory when you started off at 750 and pushed it down under 6 right away. And that makes me think that you have a high ceiling in terms of your ability, but you haven't kind of trained that in yet. And I think, most of the time that you picked up looked like it was on the split pace. So there you go. That was your last run, I think.
Pretty big difference from the first.
Yes, I agree with you. Pretty big difference. So anyway, once you did your faster run, it was just faster splits. Okay, so what I think needs to be done here is there needs to be some specific training on each one of these targets, something like bill drills or doubles, to where you're really figuring out where it is you want to hang out in terms of pacing. Like you'll just get more comfortable with the pace that's appropriate on the target. So like this back one here, doing doubles on it with like 25 splits, try that, you know. And really, instead of just doing doubles a little bit and figuring out what you think your split times ought to be, I mean, do it enough to the point where you really get acclimated to it, where that's your comfortable place to be, and you truly are happy to go out and be shooting cold and be shooting appropriate splits for your skill level. I don't think that sort of training's been done for you. I think you have a good idea of what it is you can do, but you're not comfortable enough with it that it's going to happen when you're cold. So bill drills and doubles, that stuff's critical so that you can be shooting, you know, reacting to what the site's telling you and all that and doing things properly. So anyway, that's what I would do. Bill drills, doubles, at various ranges, and really not just so much test yourself to see what you can do, but do it to the point where you're really acclimated to what's happening and you feel really very comfortable. And then you've got to clean up the eye discipline. So look at picking specific aim points on the targets, like spots the size of a paster that you're going to put your eye to. That's going to clean things up dramatically. And making sure you're not moving the gun off the target early or moving your eye off the target early and having the gun follow, or shooting as you're bringing the gun into the target. That's going to clean things up dramatically. So that's what I have for you. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below.